Hi everyone, it's Katie Varner, Superstar Director for the Sunshine State Superstars. This is video 6 in my Leap to Lead series. We've covered so much in a very short time, and I just want to say that I'm really proud of all of you who are sticking it out and staying the course and working along with me as we go through all of these videos. And I promise you that I'm trying to keep them short and concise while still providing you some great content. So for those of you who know me pretty well, you know that's tough for me because I tend to be kind of long-winded. So I'm really trying to keep it short and sweet and give you guys great content at the same time. So we've covered things like identifying why you're here, what your blind spots may be, how to treat this like a business and not a hobby, what the requirements are of promoting to a lead consultant, growing beyond your list of 100 by using your contacts on your list of 100, really just how to network, how bookings are really critical for your schedule. Bookings lead to more bookings and just a consistent pattern of great PRV. And most recently, we covered how to look for the opportunity consistently throughout your month, throughout your week, and make that offer. So now in video 6, we are going to talk about closing with those potential new team members. So once you have identified that someone is considering joining your team, whether you have taken my challenge and you've reached out to some people and offered them our fantastic $49 kit, and they've said, well, you know, it might be something that I'm going to think about. You know, whether that's the case or whether you have given your waitress a sample at the restaurant and she kind of seemed somewhat interested, the first thing I always try to go to with one of these potentials is a conversation. Oftentimes, I feel like the quick jolt response is to offer them a possibility packet, which for a time I kind of did that too. But I really learned through kind of some trial and error that going straight for the possibility packet wasn't producing the results that I wanted. What was producing the results that I wanted, which was building a solid know, like, and trust relationship with these people, what was doing that was having a conversation with them. So I always go past the concept of just giving them a possibility packet or just giving them a catalog. And I say, you know, I'm sure you've got some questions and some things you want to talk out with me. So I'd love to set up a time for us to chat on the phone or for us to meet up for a coffee. And it's really important that you give a specific offer of time. So like, going into you know, this conversation, it's always good to have your schedule on you, whether you have it in a planner in your bag or whether you have it in your phone. It's important to have your schedule handy so that way you can say, oh, you know, how about Thursday night? You know, could you do a phone call Thursday night, or want to meet for a coffee Saturday afternoon? You know, like, throw some examples out there. Just don't let it be like an open-ended, oh, we should get together sometime soon. You've got to learn to strike while the iron is hot, right? Like, you've got to get them meeting up with you and talking to you while they're showing this interest. The longer that you delay, the more time sets in, and well, the more time passes and concerns and just crap can happen that makes them question themselves. So you always want to strike quickly and get them to chat with you or meet up with you to talk more about it. And I think it's important to set, well, I know it's important to set the tone that this is not going to be a situation where you're pushing them to try to join your team. You don't want people on your team that you have to beg to be there. You want people, Duke, come here, buddy. You want people on your team that want to be there, people that want to be part of your business, not people that you have to be like, oh, please join my team, I'm trying to earn this trip, blah, blah, blah. No, because those are people that you're just going to have to drag along. And can you drag 100 people? No. Can you drag 50 people? No. Can you drag 10 people? No. Can you run with 100 people? Yes. Can you walk with 100 people? Yes. Heck, you can even crawl with 100 people, but you certainly can't drag 100 people. So you don't want a team full of people that you're begging to join your team. So I always set the tone that this is going to be a time for us to just chat and get any of their questions that they might have answered. So I will usually say something like, I'm sure you've got some questions or some things you want to talk out with me. And I'd love to do that for you so I can help you get all the facts so you can kind of make a decision as to whether you think this is going to be a good fit for you or not. And that's, to me, when I say that, I say it with all sincerity because I want them to know that I'm not going to beg them to join my team. I'm going to give them the information. I'm going to, of course, be positive and encouraging for them to do it, but by no means am I going to be begging them or pushing them to join my team. And it really helps when you set that precedent that it's going to be a relaxed conversation. So when you're chatting with them on the phone or when you are meeting up with them in person for that coffee, it's important that you listen more than you speak. Great recruiters are also great listeners. So don't sit there and be worried that it's about what you have or haven't accomplished. This is about them and what their potential is. So don't feel like you have to sit there and be like, well, I've done this and I've done that, and my career with Scentsy has, produced this and that and da 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 da. It's not about you and your accolades. So don't feel insecure if maybe you haven't gotten those accolades yet, right? It doesn't matter. What does matter is that you listen and you just simply ask them, hey, what are your questions? What's on your mind as you're considering making this decision? They know what they need to know as they're considering starting a Scentsy business. So let them kind of lead you through questions. Daisy, come here. Sorry, guys. My dogs. They're going in rooms they're not allowed to go in. I swear when I make videos, my dogs are like, free for all. We can be bad. Mom's not paying attention. They really are like kids. Daisy's in my office right now. God only knows what she's doing. She knows she's not allowed in there. Daisy. She knows she's not allowed in there. So she's like, oh, Mom's on a video. I'm going to go do whatever I want. See? And she's walking out of there all sneaky. Sneaky little thing. Anyway. So let them lead you with their questions. Then when they are done with asking me their questions, I like to say, well, do you have any concerns? Any things that, you're having hesitations about? Because sometimes they won't address their concerns. Sometimes they don't feel as comfortable just kind of letting it all out there. So I'll ask him, do you have some concerns that you want to address with me? And, concerns are typically things like, well, I'm not a salesperson, or, well, I'm in school and I'm worried I'm not going to be able to, devote the time I'd like. That's really, I don't want to say objections to that potential team member. So I don't say, well, do you have any objections? So I say, do you have any concerns? And that usually will get them to bring up any objections. And when they do bring up an objection, it's important that you validate their feelings while also offering them solutions. So if someone were to say to you, well, I'm just not a salesperson, in that instance, I would say, yeah, I totally agree. You definitely don't have that salesy vibe. But that's why I think you would be great at Scentsy, because people that have that salesy vibe really don't do well as Scentsy consultants, because that's not authentic. And I have seen over my time with Scentsy that just the people that are authentically sharing how they're enjoying their Scentsy products and sharing their just genuine passion for the products are the people that do really well. So it's a good thing that you're not a salesy person, right? So I validated how she felt and then helped her to overcome that. And that's what you want to do with these people when you're meeting with them. So if someone does not bring up the cancellation policy during our conversation, that's the only thing that I really tend to bring up. So let's say that they asked me all of their questions, they shared their concerns with me, and nothing about the cancellation policy had been brought up. So at that point is when I would say, well, there's just a couple things that I want to go over with you that I think are, helpful for you to know for making your decision. So that's when I would say, every company in the DSA has a policy to remain active. With us, it's based on a quarter, a quarter of the year. So you can't go a quarter without being active. And for Scentsy, active is considered 200 PRV, which is easy for us because that's like party minimum. So basically, you can't go 3 months without putting in a qualifying party. That's kind of how I explain it to people. And to me, that's kind of the simplest way for me to express it and have people understand it. Because it's not cumulative, and it's important that they understand that you've got to get active. So that's why I like to say, that's our party minimum. So basically, you just can't go 3 months without entering orders that meet party minimum. Or and I will say, even if you get like random orders throughout the month and they add up to the 200, that counts too. So if they don't ask that, I always make sure to explain that to them because that's very important for them to know going into it. But other than that, I don't overwhelm them with information, because someone who gets too much information often will get paralyzed. If they have too many questions, too many things rifling through their mind, that tends to lead to indecision. So I think it's very important to keep it simple and not overwhelm them. And oftentimes, I think when we're new at this, we want to word vomit all over people. And that is one of the worst things you can do. They know what they need to know to make their decision. So let them run the conversation by sharing their questions with you. And then really the only thing that's super important that they know before they decide is what our cancellation policy is. And so when you're wrapping up the conversation with a potential team member, it's important to get an idea of where their head is at. So I'll usually say, so what are you thinking now that we've had the opportunity to chat? And let them tell you. You're either going to get a no or a no for now. And a no for now is usually like a time sensitive response. So a no for now would usually be like, oh, well, I want to be enjoying the summer while my kids are home from school. So I want to wait till the kids go back in school. Or a no for now could be, well, I'm in college right now and I want to wait till I'm done. Or a no for now could be, I just started a new job, or I just had a baby, or I'm about to have a baby, right? Like no for nows tend to be relative to something going on in their life that has to do with like a time frame. So set the precedent that they're going to continue hearing from you by saying, oh, I totally understand that, you've got X, Y, and Z going on. Can we stay in touch? I love chatting with you and I want to stay connected with you. So, I'd be happy if we could do that. Make sure you're connected with them on social media. Make sure that you've got them in your phone. So that way you can stay connected with them. And make sure that you notate in your system, whether you're notating things in your phone or whether you have like a notebook that you're making notes in, have that potential teammate's name written down and keep track of your conversations. Keep track of what their why was. Keep track of, what their no for now response was and things like that. So that way you can continue communicating with them. So you've set the precedent that you're going to be in communication with them, right? So do what you said you're going to do. If this person didn't want to start until school got back in session because they wanted to spend the summer with their kids, make a note to contact them at the end of August or the very beginning of September, and then reach back out to her and say, hey, Molly, I hope you had a great summer. I was looking at your Facebook and I saw that, you and the kids went to Disney or this or that or whatever. I hope you guys had a great summer. Before summer began, we had sat down and chatted about you starting a Scentsy business as a way to blank. Now that the boys are back in school, I wanted to reach back out to you and reconnect about that. Are you still considering Scentsy as a means to blank? And that's why it's important that you identify what their why is. So that way it's that little carrot that you can dangle in front of them and say, hey, have you done this yet? So when you are meeting up with them, I forgot to mention this, it's kind of important too. When you're meeting up with these potential teammates, make sure that you ask them one simple question. And that is, why are you considering starting a Scentsy business? How do you see, Scentsy potentially enhancing your life or your family's life? That right there, that one simple question is going to get you to the heart of their why and why they're considering starting a Scentsy business. They might say, well, I just want some extra money. Ask them why. Don't just accept, I want extra money. Dig deeper for more information. You've got to get something more solid than that. Well, why do you want extra money? What is that extra money going to do for you and your family, right? And then whatever you get to the heart of, write it down. And then every time you reach back out to them, maybe they want to remodel their kitchen. Say, hey, did you get a chance to remodel that kitchen yet? Or are you still thinking of Scentsy as an opportunity to help you get the funds to do that? Always dangle it. So that's how you're going to close with these potential team members. You need to chat with them. You need to determine their why, answer any questions or concerns they have. Keep it simple, not overwhelm them with information. Determine if they're a no or a no for now. And if they're a no for now, set the precedent that you're going to stay connected with them, and then follow up with them appropriately based on what their no for now answer was, and consistently be reminding them of you, your business opportunity, and what their why is. So that's how you're going to close those. So put that into practice this month with our $49 kit, and I know you're going to grow your team this year. So your challenge for video 6 is to practice what I'm preaching here. So I want you to have a conversation like this with at least one person over this weekend. So before our next video is posted on Monday, I want you to have one of these conversations with one of your potential new team members. So whether you talk to them over the phone or you meet up with them for a coffee, I want you to have one of these closing conversations like we just discussed with a potential team member that you've been working on. Okay? And I want to hear all about it. You need to comment on this video and tell me about the conversation. What did you feel good about? Where were you struggling? This is a growing process. You're not going to nail it the first time. I didn't nail it the first time. I've been doing this for 8 years, y'all. So that is your challenge. You've got the whole weekend to complete it. So good luck to you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.